Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into the world of comedian Quarry.
Oh, Corey.
You've given us a treasure chest of material.
Mm.
Early jokes, performance snippets, even some personal reflections.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how he blends observational humor
Right.
with these almost surreal scenarios, often rooted in very relatable anxieties about dating, work, family. There's a vulnerability, I think, layered under the absurdity. That I think is key to his appeal.
Absolutely. It's like that bit about pretending to have a newborn to explain his exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
So relatable for anyone who's ever had a rough night, baby or no baby.
Yeah.
But where does Corey's comedic journey even begin? We've got jokes about Netflix depression and tissue box blues. Is this a window into his early style, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Corey's humor, even in these early stages, demonstrates a keen ability to draw humor from the mundane. These titles alone, Netflix Depression, Tissue Box Blues, they're clever plays on words, instantly relatable because they touch on these universal experiences. We've all been glued to Netflix, maybe a little too long. And who hasn't felt the pang of sadness when reaching for that last tissue?
Okay, you're right. There's this clever bait and switch where he hooks you with the familiar
All right.
and then bam, he twists it into something absurd and hilarious.
Yeah.
Take the Netflix depression bit. He starts with this relatable observation about binge watching, then hits us with, but the only depression is the one my ass put in the couch.
Yes. It's that unexpected shift in perspective that makes it work. He acknowledges the initial sentiment, the potential for genuine Netflix depression, and then flips it on its head with a dose of self-deprecating physical comedy. It's almost as if he's inviting the audience to laugh at themselves, at their own tendencies to overindulge.
And it's not just his material, it's the way he delivers it.
Mm.
You provided some background on how his comedy career started. Apparently it involved a World of Warcraft guildmate.
Yes. It seems Corey has always had this knack for finding humor in unexpected places. This guildmate, after years of witnessing Corey's unintentionally hilarious commentary during their online gaming sessions, convinced him to try stand-up.
Wow.
Talk about a leap of faith.
From raiding dungeons to ruling the comedy stage, that's amazing. It speaks to a certain fearlessness, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, and that fearlessness is evident in the risks he takes with his material, particularly his forays into self-deprecation. Jokes about ship sweats, struggling to fasten his one belt. It's as if he's laying bare his insecurities for the audience to dissect. But in doing so, he makes them feel seen and understood.
It's disarming, right?
Yeah.
Like he's making fun of himself before anyone else can. He talks about sweating at the mere thought of a bag of chips or his one belt struggle, and you can't help but laugh because deep down we've all been there with some version of that.
Exactly. It's that shared experience that makes his self-deprecation so effective. He's not afraid to be vulnerable, to poke fun at his own flaws. And in doing so, he creates a space for the audience to laugh at theirs too.
And don't even get me started on the D&D Extra Life bit. It's like he's found a way to make being single endearing. How does he do that?
It's the specificity of it, I think. He's not just saying, oh, I'm single and lonely. He's painting this vivid picture of himself fully immersed in a game, using humor to deflect from the potential awkwardness of his relationship status. It's relatable because we all have our ways of coping with loneliness, whether it's through hobbies, friendships, or,
Yeah.
yes, even video games.
And it's never mean-spirited.
Right.
You know, there's always this underlying warmth even when he's making fun of himself. But he doesn't shy away from riskier material either. We've got jokes about Pokemon breeding and the ravioli family size.
And that's where his comedic genius shines through. He seamlessly blends the relatable with the unexpected, the
Yeah.
everyday with the slightly off-kilter. These titles are a perfect example. Pokemon breeding, it's familiar, it's nostalgic. But there's an underlying absurdity to it, especially when applied to adult life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you have ravioli family size, which again taps into this universal experience of, shall we say, overindulging at the dinner table.
Right.
But Corey elevates it beyond a simple food joke. He's commenting on body image, on societal expectations, all through the lens of a heaping plate of ravioli.
It's brilliant. He takes these seemingly mundane aspects of life, watching Netflix, grabbing a tissue, eating too much ravioli, and through his unique lens, transforms them to something profound, relatable, and hilarious.
So we see Corey's talent for observational humor, But what about those punchlines, those laugh-out-loud moments that really set him apart? Let's talk about them.
Corey's punchlines are where his comedic timing really shines. He has this knack for building anticipation
Yeah.
and then delivering a zinger that leaves you wanting more.
It's like he's got this internal clock, this perfect sense of when to hit you with the unexpected. Take the Magic Mike sequel bit.
Right. He starts with this seemingly straightforward premise, a sequel to Magic Mike.
Right, yeah.
You're expecting more dancing, more abs, more Channing Tatum.
Thor.
And then, bam, he flips the script, turning it into this hilarious mashup with Harry Potter. Suddenly, you've got strippers wielding wands and Voldemort battling Dumbledore with a bedazzled cane.
Oh my God.
The sheer absurdity of it is what makes it so funny. It's like he took two completely unrelated concepts and smashed them together to create comedic gold.
It's a testament to his ability to subvert expectations.
Right.
He knows what the audience is expecting, and he deliberately leads them down a different path, only to hit them with a punchline that's both surprising and hilarious.
And he does it again with that suicide hotline joke. It's dark, it's edgy,
Yeah.
but it works because of that perfectly timed punchline. It's almost like he's saying, yeah, life can be tough, but we might as well find the humor in it even in the darkest of places. There's a certain fearlessness to his humor, a willingness to go to those uncomfortable places that most comedians would shy away from. But he does it with a wink and a nod, a self-awareness that disarms the audience and makes them feel like they're in on the joke.
It's like he's saying, I'm going there, are you coming with me? And you can't help but follow along because it's just so damn funny.
Speaking of going there, his partially Jewish routine is a masterclass in tackling sensitive subjects with a mix of wit, self-deprecation,
Right.
and a healthy dose of chutzpah.
It's a delicate dance.
Right.
He's navigating cultural stereotypes, religious traditions, even his own family history, and somehow he manages to find the humor in it all without being disrespectful.
It's a testament to his comedic skill and his ability to connect with the audience on a personal level. He's not just telling jokes, he's sharing his own experiences, his own insecurities, and in doing so, he makes it okay for the audience to laugh at theirs too.
He's normalizing vulnerability in a way, making it okay to be a little bit messy, a little bit insecure, and a lot funny.
Precisely. And speaking of messy and insecure, we have to talk about his material on relationships, specifically the unsolicited deck pics bit.
Oh, that's a classic. It starts off as a relatable tale of relationship, woes, the awkward first dates, the mismatched expectations, and then, bam, he hits us with the unexpected twist about the deck picks.
It's brilliant because it plays on our assumptions. We think we're getting a story about a failed date,
Right.
about the perils of online dating. But then Quarry flips the script and makes it about something completely different, his unexpected talent for carpentry.
It's so unexpected, so specific, and yet so universally relatable. We've all been there, putting our best foot forward only to have it backfire in the most hilarious way possible.
And that, I think, is the essence of Quarry's appeal. He takes these universal experiences, dating, relationships, family, and through his unique comedic lens, transforms them into something extraordinary.
He's a master of finding the funny in the everyday, the extraordinary in the ordinary. But it's not all lighthearted fun, is it? Quarry doesn't shy away from the darker side of humor either.
Absolutely not. He's willing to go to those uncomfortable places to make us squirm a little,
Yes.
but always with a sense of intelligence and purpose.
Like that bit about the Oscars and, well, I'm not even sure so I can repeat it on air.
Yeah.
Let's just say it involves fish and leave it at that.
Right. Well, some might find it offensive.
Right.
Or in poor taste. There's an underlying brilliance in how he uses that shock value to challenge our perceptions and make us question our own comfort zones.
It's like he's holding up a mirror to society,
Yeah.
forcing us to confront the things we'd rather ignore, but in a way that's both thought-provoking and hilarious.
Exactly. He's not afraid to make us think,
Right.
to make us uncomfortable, and most importantly, to make us laugh at ourselves.
It really does make you think, how did he get away with that? And yet you're laughing along with him, questioning your own sense of humor in the process.
It's a testament to his stage presence, his ability to read the room and create a space where anything feels possible, even jokes about fish at the Oscars. But speaking of pushing boundaries, we have to talk about Quarry's Jesus rap routine.
Yes. The ultimate clash of the sacred and the profane. It's bold, it's irreverent, and you just know someone out there is clutching their pearls.
Right. And yet it works, because even in its audacity, there's this underlying intelligence,
Right.
this commentary on how we view both religion and celebrity in modern society.
He's not just rapping about Jesus. He's rapping about our perceptions of Jesus, about the commercialization of faith, about the strange intersection of pop culture and spirituality.
Precisely. He's using humor to spark a conversation, to make us question our own beliefs and assumptions. And that's what makes Quarry's comedy so impactful. It stays with you long after the laughter fades.
So we've got a comedian who's willing to be vulnerable, to tackle sensitive subjects, to make us question everything we thought we knew about comedy. But what about his award-winning humor? What sets it apart, do you think?
It's a combination of factors, really. His originality, for one. Quarry doesn't rely on tired tropes or easy jokes.
Right.
He's constantly pushing the envelope, finding new and unexpected ways to make us laugh.
Like comparing himself to a water pick in the Beto bed, or that line about branch waves back.
Yes.
Pure comedic genius.
Yeah. But it's not just about the jokes themselves, it's the way he delivers them.
Yes.
That impeccable timing, that twinkle in his eye.
He's a master of his craft, plain and simple. He understands the rhythm of comedy, the importance of building anticipation, of landing that punchline at just the right moment.
And he's not afraid to experiment, to try new things, to fail gloriously in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what makes him so relatable, so endearing.
He's one of us.
Yeah.
Just a guy trying to figure things out, one joke at a time. And thankfully for us, he's really, really good at it.
He's a national treasure, that's for sure. So for our listeners who haven't yet had the pleasure of experiencing Quarry's comedy, what advice would you give them?
Be prepared to laugh, to be challenged, to be surprised.
Quarry's comedy is a wild ride, full of unexpected twists and turns, but it's a ride you won't soon forget.
And buckle up for those punchlines. They'll sneak up on you when you least expect it, leaving you breathless with laughter.
And most importantly, go in with an open mind. Quarry's humor isn't for everyone, but for those who appreciate a good dose of intelligent, thought-provoking comedy, it's a breath of fresh air.
So true. He's a true original, and his unique brand of comedy is sure to leave a lasting impression. And for those of you listening, what resonated most with you about Quarry's style? What would you ask him if you had the chance? Let us know. Until next time, happy deep diving.